On this episode, I'm going to be showing you what causes these plugs to not stay inside the outlet and what you can do to fix them. So stay tuned. So just a quick disclaimer, we are going to be working with electrical components on this video. My electrical codes and your electrical code might be different, so make sure that you're always up to date with your codes. And before working with any electrical, make sure that you always have the right permits available and always shut off the power from your circuit breaker. And also, if you are uncomfortable in any way working with electricity, make sure that you hire a certified licensed electrician. With that being said, my full disclaimer is on the description down below. Let's get to this video. So what's causing this problem? Whenever you put this plug in and it always comes out because it's super loose. Actually, this is super dangerous because it leaves the two prongs wide open and you might accidentally touch those two prongs and you might get shocked. And also, this could cause arcing, sparking, and overheating. So if you see something like this in your home, make sure that you solve it right away. So to show you a better and clear example, here's an old electrical outlet. And here's the plug. Right when we put it on, it just sags just like that. The gravity just pretty much pushes this down. What causes this is sometimes your outlet is in a high traffic area where you use it a lot and you're always using it. For example, you're using it to always charge your phone, and over time it just keeps, you know, wearing out this outlet on the inside actually. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna open this up. I actually cracked this top part open for you so we can dissect and see what's going on inside. I don't recommend you opening this up and fixing it. I recommend that you buy a brand new outlet. They're not expensive. You can buy a brand new one for cents, and this one is actually a few cents. Okay, they're only, or it could be $1 or something depending on where you live. Or you can always upgrade to a tamper resistant one. I highly suggest that you upgrade to these because this will last a little longer over time. But in this case, you can always just buy a brand new one just like this. They're super cheap and you can get them at any hardware store in your area. But I'll leave all the tools that I use, including these, on the link down below to make it easier for your friends. Okay, but before we dive into this, let's go inside of what's going on this plug. You see this right here? This is the top part. These are where your plug goes to, and if we put in, see that? If we put in the plug, there is nothing that is holding that plug tight. Very flared on here, and it just pretty much has all that room to go around. Whenever you're taking out the plug, notice how you always try to wiggle it off just like that. Over time, that actually causes these things to move in side to side direction, making these two walls separate over time. Always remember that whenever you're pulling out your plug and you're wiggling it like that, you're actually causing these two walls to get wider over time. I'm just using my needle nose pliers and I'm just pinching these two walls together. Right when we pinch it, it is actually staying on, okay? I mean, not the best, but you know what I'm talking about. Let's say it is loose like this, but you are using a 3-prong. It will still hold eventually because this ground will actually make it hold on firmly. But if you only have a 2-prong plug, that would actually, now, you know, it'll be dangerous. It will still fall off. So your ultimate solution for this is just replace the plug. It's not that hard, and I'll show you how to change an outlet. Let me break down all the tools that you need for this project. You're gonna need 12-2 gauge wire. So the power that's feeding that 12-2 is going to be on a 20 amp. We're going to take about, let's say, 6-inch because we're going to create pigtails. So you're going to splice that 12-2 wire, separate the ground, the hot and the neutral. Okay, strip those. Make sure that you have at least 5/8 exposed on each end so we can start making the pigtail. We're going to have our wire stripper, our long nose pliers, and I like using this volt claw. Okay, this volt claw is awesome. It bends and makes those nice loops on the end of your wire. You just bend it, boom, it makes those hooks really nice. Make sure that you always get a voltage detector. This one's by Milwaukee, but I'll leave a link down below that's quite similar to what I'm using right now. Non-contactless, and it's easy to use, and it will detect voltage. Even if you turn off the power from your circuit breaker, I highly suggest you double check with this voltage detector to make sure that there's no electricity coming out. And I like to use this screwdriver from Clean Tools, and this one is a hybrid. It has a Phillips and a flathead at the same time, and you can just switch it out just by, you know, twisting that, and it'll pop out. It's 2-in-1. Using an outlet, this one's just a standard outlet that you buy. Again, these are cents, but if you want to upgrade to the tamper resistant ones, this is also actually weatherproof or weather resistance right there, WR and TR. So WR and TR, so you get a best of both worlds. And what's awesome about this is it is tamper resistant. So let's say I like using this, especially I have kids around the home, and my son is very curious right now. This is actually great because this will prevent any foreign tools to go through that socket right there. This is actually a lot more expensive, but $2 versus cents, you know, it's totally up to you. Again, this is the hot, this is the neutral, and there's your ground. Now look at the back, and it should also already says white and hot wire. Okay, hot wire is the black side, white is the neutral. It's very easy, just pick. I'm gonna just start at the top, and we're gonna start off at the wiring the neutral first. So we're just gonna hook it in a clockwise position, just like that. Okay, we're not using a Phillips, we're gonna be using a flathead. Now I highly suggest that you put all your pigtails first, because doing this will actually make your job easier. Rather than trying to tamper everything in your junction box or your J box, this will actually make it a lot smoother and faster. So make sure that you put all your pigtails first before doing anything like this. All right, so tighten it up really nice and tight. Okay, make sure that there is no copper showing. What's cool about this, there's actually a depth gauge for your wire right here. So you see that arrow? That's actually the depth gauge that you can actually put your wire on, so that you know how much copper you need. Okay, just twist it just like so. And we're gonna go in a clockwise position on the hot. Tighten that down. Make sure it's nice and tight. There we have it. I actually made this. I hooked this up. Actually bent this for the example on that. Let me straighten that back up for you friends. Tighten that up. And there you have it. So we have all our pigtails installed. You have your hot on the brass, neutral on the silver, and you have your ground wire. I'm actually gonna be using some Wagos connectors, okay? What I really like about these instead of the wire nuts is that these are super easy to use. All you gotta do is open up the lever, and you just insert it through the lever like that, and just close the lever, and it should be nice and secured. If you look at the back, it's touching the ceiling of there, and it is not showing any copper. Wagos are the way to go. I never went back to wire nuts after finding this. I'll leave in the description down below of where I got all these tools and these Wagos as well. Okay, so I don't actually have this plugged in because this is just an example, but if you do have it, it's gonna look similar to like this. Usually on old construction, this pretty much gonna be, these wires are connected to here. All you gotta do, unscrew it and just take out those wires. You're gonna be dealing with new electrical wires right here. Okay, so it's gonna be neutral, ground, and hot wire. And it's fairly easy after that. Once you have your pigtails installed, for example, you have 2 outlets on the circuit. If this was connected to this outlet itself, if this outlet fails, that other outlet will not work. Using pigtails will allow for anything that might happen to this outlet, the other outlets will allow it to work, because your connection is still all connected into the Wago connectors. Okay, so let's connect all. I'm going to be using the 2 lever Wagos, and it's fairly easy after that. Oops, they're alive, they're jumping. Okay, you're just going to connect all the neutral to neutral, and you want to make it so that your wires are all nice and neat. Easy. Okay, and what I like to do is I like to bury the ground wire first. So what's great about this tool right here, this is where I introduced the Volt Claw. This tool is amazing. It has a pull, feature, so you can pull the wire inside your J-box. Some of us don't have skinny fingers, so we can't go all the way through there, and it protects your fingers as well. You can use this as a push tool, okay, a pull tool as well, and you have a little tip right here where you can actually grab into the wire and orient it and twist it the way you want it while you're inside the J-box. So what I like to do is I like to push the ground wires in first, just so that we can make sure that this ground wire is not making contact to any of the terminals. Make sure that these are nice and tight as well. We don't want to leave that all crazy, you know, exposed like that. Okay, so make sure that you tighten the rest of the ones that are not being used. That in. Actually, watch my previous videos on sunken outlets. This area actually has damaged drywall around it, so I like to use these spacers at the back so that when we plug it in, it sits nice and flush with the drywall. Okay, and then we just put on the cover plate. Nice and tight. So now we're gonna put our plug, put it in, and there you have it. There's no more sag on them, so it's actually nice and secured. Okay, so that's pretty much it. Simple as that. It's not rocket science. I just wanted to show this video so that you can know, so you know what's going on inside that outlet, what's causing these plugs to sag, and how to prevent this dangerous scenario from happening. Because having sagging plugs like these, or you know, it's very dangerous, especially if you have kids around. If you see something like that, make sure you act right away and get it fixed. And you see how easy that is. It's pretty simple. Okay, found this video a big help, please hit that big thumbs up, press the subscribe button, notification bell, and stay tuned for more videos like this. I have another one coming for you for this week, so stay tuned for my channel. Thank you so much, and you have a good day.